How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about one of the founding fathers of cultivation manhwa, a complete and utter powerhouse of a story that actually doesn't suck, like, at all. I am talking about none other than, Marshall Peak. Marshall Peak follows the story of Yang Kai on his path towards strength. However, Yang Kai is a complete and utter weakling. Though he was born into the influential Yang family, he had a birth defect, making him one of the weakest child disciples in the High Heaven Pavilion sect. He was basically reduced to the status of a servant and could barely get enough food to survive, which led him to reside in a tiny wooden shed in the way back outskirts of the sect. However, Yang Kai has something that sets him apart from the rest: an unyielding will and the desire to be the best. Though he would get beat up on a regular basis, this man would never stop fighting. You could knock him down 30 times and he would get up 31 times. It's wild. Though he was weak, his tenacity is unlike anyone else's. And one day when he is sleeping after getting beat up, his rock pillow turns out to be a demonic god's inheritance, turning into the black book of the demon god. It's such a wild way to incorporate it, but it's kind of unique. This book bestowed the golden skeleton, which marks the beginning of his path to becoming the strongest martial artist. Yang Kai is yet another great character that will do whatever he needs to do in order to gain strength, and he especially refuses to be looked down upon by anyone. And I would say one of the things that sets him apart from the other MCs is his complete and utter ruthlessness to his enemies. Though he does not truly scheme like a character like Feng Yuan does, he instead chooses to meet his problems head on, but makes sure to keep quite a few of his cards hidden. Like, a running joke in this community is how this man just completely and utterly refuses to tell anybody that he's like a god at alchemy. And one great thing about him is that he himself embraces the common phrases that you see in cultivation manhwa. You know, the courting death and not knowing how to spell the word death. I mean, just look at how kind he is here, teaching all of the people around him how to spell the word death. Well, definitely not using the blood of a dead body to spell it all or anything like that. And I guess I do gotta say this for some of you horn dogs out there that are really just looking for a manhwa that has a harem. Yang Kai pipes. Like, this man gets around, and he's got a lot of wives, and the manhwa shows it. So if you are looking for a manhwa that does not shy away from the harem trope, that is all the more reason for you to read Marshall Peak. Now to get to the negatives that could also be positives. Marshall Peak manhwa is currently 3,735 chapters long, updating about 2 chapters a day, which of course leads to the quality not being complete and utter peak, but it's still pretty good nonetheless. And the light novel has just been recently completed within the last year or so with 6,009 chapters. So this wonderful cultivation story does not lack content at all. That you can read a majority of these chapters within 1 minute, and some of them you can even read within like 30 seconds or less. So these chapters are not really long. I reckon you can complete the first 50 chapters of this manhwa within 30 minutes to an hour of picking it up. So this insanely large number is not really one to put you off, but it's still a lot of chapters. And now, I do have to warn you, much like other long stories, it is not going to always go the way you want it to. And this story is, of course, no different. I, for example, hated what happened around chapter 2700, which caused me to take a break for a while. But if you choose to read this story, remember, the bad parts do not last forever. And a majority of the time, due to how long the story is, it will one day be fixed. And surprisingly enough, for a story this long, it does not have any genuine bad parts. Like parts that seem completely forced or are completely and utterly stupid and just really shouldn't be there. For example, one of the good cultivation manhwas I was reading got to the point where our MC decided it was a good idea to try and resurrect his dead parents by putting their souls into the fetuses of these families, dude. It's like, bro, just let your parents rest in peace, man. I get it. It's upsetting to have your parents pass away, especially at a young age. But this man put his his parents' souls into the fetuses of these families. It was so odd. And it really put me off of that good manhwa. So, no, the parts that I deem bad in Martial Peak might actually end up being your favorite part of Martial Peak. So don't let me saying that there are bad parts in it put you off at all. I just want to be real and let you know that this is not a story that is like 100% perfect. It is just a story that is very good and very long. And overall, I highly recommend this light novel or manhwa because it honestly reaches into my top 5 cultivation manhwa of all time. And I have read a lot of cultivation manhwa, like a lot. Like I would say a majority of the things I read are system and cultivation. I have a problem, okay? And cultivation manhwa soothes that problem. But I love this one so much. And the fact that it is still so good after so long shows you the solid storyline it has. And if you choose to read this manhwa, I have one quote to leave with you. Beyond the heavens is another heaven. Beyond martial expert is another expert. Martial arts are eternal. There is no peak in martial arts. You'll understand what I mean when you read it. I hope you guys do give this one a genuine chance. Even though it is super long, give the first like 50 chapters a try. I know that sounds scary, but you can literally finish them in 30 minutes to an hour. And if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more recommendations of different manhwa, and stuff like that, please leave your recommendations in the comments if you want to see me make a video about them. And I'll try to do my best to, because I've read a lot of things and I have a lot of sauce that I can give to all of you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, maybe turn on post notifications, and check out all of my socials up here and join the Discord. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, sunrise, sunset, whatever time it is for you. I hope you have a great one because you deserve it. I love you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.